My name is Brian Cook. I'm the founder and CEO of Get in Shape for Women. Looking forward to sharing with you some details about our model and our expansion plans and all that great stuff. All right, so at any point in time, feel free to shoot in questions. I'll spend some time at the end of the presentation just reviewing Q&A with you guys. And if we run out of time, Dan, our Director of Franchise Development, will be able to jump on a call with you to answer further questions. All right, so let me keep rolling. All right, so the focus of the webinar, I want to make sure we accomplish 3 things so that we're all clear. The first is how to lose 12 to 30 pounds in 12 weeks or less. We want to make sure that you're clear on body transformation, because this is actually what we do inside our studios. This is the main ingredient of our success. So we're going to share with you that formula. We're then going to talk about how you can turn this passion into a career, whether it's a manager, trainer, or franchise owner. And then thirdly, for those interested, how you can open your own Get in Shape for Women franchise. So that's the goal of this webinar. There's a lot of information, so I apologize if I move a little quick, but it's hard to condense this stuff, and we've tried a few times. We're still working at it. But again, the idea is to give you as much information as possible, and if it sounds like a good fit, then the next step would be a phone call with Dan, and then we can take you through the information at a lot slower pace. All right, moving on. So positive focus. This is an exercise we learned about doing some offsite consulting a couple of years back, and it's really helped a lot because work and life, lots going on, and it's really important to stay sharp and stay focused on the positive. So before all of our meetings, we share a personal and professional positive focus just to make sure our mind is in the right mood. And because negativity and creativity don't happen at the same time, and the expression we've heard is if you've had a tough morning or a tough afternoon and you're kind of flustered, a positive focus will help you kind of reset. And it's just as soon as you run through a positive focus, which is just remembering some kind of personal or professional achievement that you've had in the last day or two or week, so just put you in a good mood and lift your spirits up. And I know for myself, when I run through positive focus, even just run through a handful of things that are going well, it completely changes my mood and how I'm going to approach the next meeting or next activity. So we've had great success with it, and we recommend you guys do this as well. And I've tried to introduce it at home, not with total success yet, but it's something that it's great. It's focusing on the positive. So for me, I'll give you mine, and then for any of you guys, if you want to shoot it into the question box, we love to hear anything that's good that's going on. It puts us in a good mood. So for me, let's see, positive focus. Let's see, this weekend had a great weekend. I just got a new boat. I traded my old boat in a couple weeks ago that I had for 9 years for a bigger boat. So I'm excited that this is a boat now that everyone can fit on, can sleep over on it. I'm going to do some sport fishing. So spent kind of the weekend cleaning it, working on it, getting it ready, and that was really exciting for me and something I kind of spend my free time doing and puts me in a great mood. And then professional, we just finished the month of May, had an incredible month. Really excited about the progress. Our corporate studios, we own 4 studios of the 90. Everyone had a great month, so we're excited about that. All right, moving on. Our purpose is to empower women through body transformation. And we usually stay on this. I like to stay in this slide for a minute because this is where there tends to be some confusion. And this is the clarity we want to have with all of our owners, all of our managers, all of our trainers, anyone that's thinking about becoming an owner or a manager, is that we have to be crystal clear that we exist to transform women, not just to provide workouts or a great environment. That's all understood. We exist to provide compelling body transformation because no one else and not many in the world are doing it or can do it. And the way we compete in a in a crowded marketplace is to deliver compelling transformation in the shortest amount of time, because we have the know-how, we have the tools, and we have the coaching ability. So just want to be clear there. If that's something that excites you, we want to talk to you. If it's something that you're not interested in, then we definitely wouldn't be a good fit, because this is the first piece, is that you need to be serious about transforming women, and then the effects of that, it's a snowball effect of great results. Core values. This is another exercise we did at doing some offsite consulting, and this was incredible for us to go through. Having a purpose and a mission was fairly easy, but actually identifying core values. So we did this individually. Lou, our president, and myself attended a session, and I kind of struggled for us, because I was like, wow, core values. What are core values? And it's really as we dug deeper into the exercise, it was, what are the things that make you tick? And what core values should do is they should repel the wrong people for your company and attract the right people. So we really want to show our core values, make it really clear the type of people we're looking for and the way we operate. And I'll just skim through these quick. So we treat our customers like family. For me, I had to come up with this core value. I had to actually go back to my very first personal training studio that I opened in 1995. And after a couple years of running that, I invited all my clients to my wedding. And so a saying we usually say now is like, if you got married today, would you invite your clients to your wedding? And if the answer is no, maybe the relationship you have might be a little too rigid with them. And you can still coach and hold people accountable, but still treat them like family. Treat them like you would like anyone in your family. We have a passion for health and fitness, self-explanatory. We believe in the power of positivity. Again, speaks for itself. We wow our customers by exceeding expectations. So the big part about Get in Shape for Women models, when we sign up a client, we need to make sure that the program is better than they thought. So we've developed an entire new client experience checklist, and the goal of that is to make sure that the program is better than our new client thought it was, and then we've done our job. And we try to do the same thing at the franchise level. When someone buys a franchise, we want to make sure that it's better than they thought it was going to be. And if you can't do that, growth is going to be hard, and reaching your 10x goal, whatever your goal is, going to be hard to do. We check our egos at the door. So when you're involved in in an environment, it's important to always, having a healthy ego is one thing, but want to make sure it doesn't get in the way. Because if someone has, too big of an ego, it means they know everything, and then leading into the next, we're continually learning. So if you know everything, you're really not in a situation to learn. So we always want to watch egos from owners, from the corporate office, from me, the corporate office, our owners, managers, and their trainers, making sure that we're in the state of mind where we continually need to learn and improve the way we operate. We believe in honest, open communication. It's a relationship, whether it's a franchisor or franchisee, whether it's owner, manager, trainer. It's a relationship, and every now and then, feathers get ruffled. It's important to kind of have a little sit down, speak, honest and open, and then everyone feels a lot better after. Not harbor any kind of frustration you have. It doesn't help anyone. And then we believe accountability leads to success. So clearly, we're in the accountability business. We want to first show how much we care about you, and this is at the studio level. So if I'm running a studio with a bunch of clients, I want to make sure my women know how much I care about them first. And once they're clear on that compassion and the caring, then I can turn my head around and be a coach, and then sometimes have hard conversations with them. Same thing at the owner side. When I'm coaching franchise owners, I want them to obviously understand how much I care about their success. And there's nothing more enjoyable than starting a franchise, recruiting a bunch of owners and watching them reach all of their personal and financial goals. It's incredibly rewarding. And then lastly, we love what we do, and it's great when you love what you do, because that expression, love what you do, never work a day, and it's the truth. you know, I can't imagine going into work every day not liking what I was doing and counting the minutes by, you know, problem we have is working too much. So you have to actually create structure where you have focus, you know, focus days and free days. And when in a free day, for us, some of the coaching program we're involved in, it's called Strategic Coach, and they identify a free day as 24-hour period of time, absolutely no work, anything that would even resemble work, emails, phone calls, can't read anything that would be related to work. And the point is, so you completely rejuvenate on your free days, and you're much more productive and creative during your work days. But as time and technology changes, it seems like we're always working a little bit, playing a little bit, and not having those defined boundaries. All right, moving on. So I'll move a little bit quicker once we get through those. Let's see, mission to open 500 locations by 2024 by developing the best fitness franchise model in the world. So we're confident that the orchestration of Get in Shape for Women, which is a finely tuned model, we believe it's the best fitness franchise model in the world. And we know that that recipe, that formula, you know, cater to women of a particular demographic, of a particular age, put them in the right locations, and then just that recipe of being crystal clear about transformation, we're confident that's going to get us to 500 locations by 2024. And then, of course, that's going to lead to a tremendous amount of client transformation and really making a difference in the world. So talking about body transformation, it's the sum of all parts. It's really the key. Weight training, cardio, nutrition, and accountability. As long as these four components are in place and constantly progressing and improving, you will transform, or whoever you're coaching will transform. The way that we deliver weight training at the studio levels, we use these. Here's a picture of one of our studios, and there's essentially 8 stations. Each of the stations change, the exercise changes every week for 12 weeks. So we have what we call systematic variety. And awesome, you know, free weights. We do plyometrics, so you see a TRX there, kettlebell. So it's really the, you know, the best personal training done in a small group of 4 women. It's the best way to explain what we do. It's personal training done in a small group of 4 women. Everything's still customized to everyone's ability. You know, it's fantastic. And the whole goal of weight training, as many of you know, is we want to build lean body mass, which will then increase resting metabolism. And to give you an idea, about 5 pounds of muscle, increasing 5 pounds of muscle tone, you'll increase your resting metabolism about 200 calories a day. So it's really muscle. We'll just crank up metabolism, get your body to burn, you know, fat and calories while you're sleeping at night. Cardio. Oh, and back to weight training. It's about 25 minutes of weight training each session and about 25 minutes of cardio. So it's essentially a high-intense 50-minute workout, and it gives us a little bit of time for groups to finish out and new groups to come in. So in terms of cardio, 25 minutes of high-intense interval training. We use treadmills and elliptical machines, as you can see in the picture. And again, the goal is increase calorie and fat burning, increase your good cholesterol, HDL, lower blood pressure, lower heart rate, really get you in incredible shape. And an interval, and if we look at the clock in between the 2 TVs, there's a timer there. And every week for 12 weeks, we change out the interval timer. So 1 week it could be, you know, 1 minute of total intensity followed by 3 minutes of recovery. Could be 1 minute on, 1 minute off, 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off. We just keep changing it up. But the goal of our training is pushing you to failure. Because what you can't do is what's going to change your body, not what you can do. And the problem with a lot of people that work out, they don't push to failure. So why would your body change? There's no reason for it to change if it can complete the task at hand. So we focus on those last 2 or 3 reps. Come on, 2 more, 3 more, you can do it. It's that constant push to get you past that normal threshold, get you to failure. Your body's going to recover. Body's going to burn a lot more calories after the workout, and then there's a snowball effect, and you start getting great results. Nutrition. So 3rd component in our 4 components, talk about nutrition. So we coach framework, just so there's no confusion. So we coach 13 to 1600 calories a day, 100 grams of protein minimum of that caloric range, 8 to 10 glasses of water, eat every 2 to 3 hours. You have one free day where anything goes. One other thing we're going to add to this bullet is no alcohol in the in your 6 days, because sometimes people will build in the alcohol into their calories, and alcohol is a toxin to your body, so your body will first have to burn the alcohol before it can burn calories and fat. So really want nothing like that in your body 6 days a week during transformation. And it all comes down to how quickly you want to transform. You want to have it happen, snap of the fingers, or you want to take years. And we're interested in short-term compelling transformation, 12 weeks or less. So we're going to get you dialed in quick, and we're confident when we show you fast results, you're going to be motivated to follow the program. So that's the framework, and then we give out sample. We call this our nutrition blueprint. We give out sample menus, sample recipes, all that great stuff, so people can then fill out their own blueprint and get results. And really, having a nutrition blueprint, you don't really want to eat more than 2 or 3 things, more than 2 or 3 different things for each meal, just so you don't have too much confusion, too much variety. All right, moving on, accountability. Accountability, the premise of accountability is you need to be held accountable by someone other than yourself. And at the studio level, we do weekly weigh-ins. It's going to provide motivation. As mentioned, we may have to have hard conversations every now and then. And again, once a client knows how much we care about them, they give us permission to have a hard conversation. It's all about communication, all about over-communication. And then just managing, behavior in terms of the 4 components: nutrition, not skipping workouts, making sure our clients put themselves first and not other things that they have going on, at least for that period of time. The way we deliver the instruction of the workouts, just for your own reference, is we send out a video each week, and this is a workout of the week video, and this is Dave, our director of franchise support. So basically, he's taking people through different workouts, so that way you guys can watch the video with your team, with your trainers, and you can practice, what's going to be going on the week ahead, so you're all ready for that particular week. And as mentioned, it's 12 different weeks of new and fresh workouts to keep it engaging, keep it changing, but not too much variety, not too little variety. And this is a great way to send out the proper form and technique. So if you're an owner or a manager, you're able to watch, and you can, as I said, practice with your team. All right, so webinar focus. I think we've covered the first one in terms of how to lose 12 to 30 pounds in 12 weeks or less. A big part of what we do is you first having the passion yourself. So I would encourage anyone that's interested in themselves in transforming, follow our program. You can go online and sign up for, I think we have a free video on there, free video series, how to lose 7 pounds in 7 days, all kinds of tools. But get dialed in, transform yourself, take that passion and then turn it into a career. And that's really the cool thing, is once you have a passion for transformation, now you make money at it by either owning a studio or working in one. So let me dig into number 2, how you can turn this passion into a career and give you the different options of doing that. All right, so the different career paths or opportunities: you can be a manager in a studio, full-time trainer, or a part-time trainer. Those are 3 positions. Managers are working pretty much 40, 50 hours a week. Full-time trainers, typically 40 hours. Part-time trainers, usually anywhere from 10 to 20. Those are the 3 positions. And then sometimes owners will act as managers as well, so they're owner managers. And other times not. We have some owners that have multiple studios, so in that case, they need teams in place, and then they essentially support their team. How to apply? So if you go to our website, on the very top, you'll see a careers kind of link. Click on that, and then you'll see this little form. So fill it out. When you get to preferred location, you can either choose an existing studio, and if we don't have a studio near you, please select the other. and then you can actually put in, where you're located. And the reason that's important, there's a lot of talented, managers on our webinars that we would love to get you into our company. And if we see a resume from an awesome manager somewhere, that may force us to open there sooner than we thought. Because the key is, if you have the talent, the model's easy. It's all about the right people, getting the right people on the bus, and then you figure out where you're going to drive it. So we're always looking for the best people. So that's how to apply. And if you don't hear back, keep applying periodically, keep working on your skills. I can promise you what owners are looking for is somehow for you to demonstrate your passion for transformation, how you've done that personally, how you've helped other people, and that's what you want to do for a career. And if you want to open your own studio someday, if you're interested in being a manager, that's also beneficial. Obviously some of the best managers want to move on someday to own their own, so they're willing to put in 110% because it's going to lead them to owning their own business someday. We currently have 90 locations in 17 states. If you go to our website, you can click on the state and you'll get a list of each of the studios as well, just as a visual. All right, so in terms of the second block, I think we've covered a little bit of how you can, what the model is, which is a transformation model focused on 4 components, and then how, if you want to work at a studio, how to apply and what the different positions are. So definitely go do that. And then lastly, let's dive into the different steps on if you're interested in opening your own franchise. And after this section, I'll spend some time. We had some people type in some questions, and then if you have any, you can shoot them in as well. All right, how to open your own get in shape room and franchise. So we've developed a bunch of in-house systems that we take people through, and after opening a bunch of franchise locations, every time you open one, you get better and better. So this little flow chart up on the screen right now, it gives us a quick little run through. So today we're on a webinar. The next step would be a phone call with Dan, our Director of Franchise Development. Then if all goes well there and we feel it's a good fit, after you talk with Dan, you talk with me, and we kind of go back and forth a little bit for a while. Once it's a good fit, you come to Discovery Day. You attend Discovery Day, we're going to allow you to secure up to 3 territories so that no one else can purchase those while you're doing your due diligence. If all goes well and you want to get on board, you'd sign our FDD, Federal Disclosure Document, and you officially become a franchise owner. You're going to get our franchise checklist, which I can remember back in the day it went from 11 pages, and now it's I think about 80. And part of that is just the detail that we want to provide you when you're going to open your studio. So it's as seamless and focused as possible, where what items are time sensitive, and then we basically take you through the whole startup with daily calls if necessary, whatever it takes to take you through the process, make it as seamless as possible. Then we get into site selection. Once we find the right site, we're going to submit a letter of intent. We're going to then negotiate your lease, make sure you get the best lease available. Going to help you develop a floor plan based on the layout of your space, the most efficient floor plan. Help you, we have a construction manual that you'll give to your contractor, so we'll help you go through the build-out process, making sure you don't pay too much, making sure you have the right contract with the contractor. Show you some hiring processes that we've used to hire all of our corporate team, studio managers and trainers. So we're going to take you through that process, and even in the initial stages, actually run group interviews with you on the call. We'll do Skype interviews with some of your potential candidates, and so you can see how we look for talent, ask questions, different things. We use some profiling tools, which are very helpful. One of them is called DISC, D-I-S-C, and we can look for ability to sell. Another one's called the Colby A Index. Those are really helpful in figuring out how someone's hardwired and if they're going to be right for a particular job. And then franchise school happens after that, and that's you and your manager invite you to come out for a week of franchise school, and we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of running a studio. At the corporate office, we actually have a replica studio in here surrounded by glass, so while you're here, you get to actually work out in a model and and it's as interactive as we can make it. Then after franchise school, we get ready for your grand opening. We're going to come out and do a site visit as near to your grand opening as possible, and that way we can run through some of the steps in franchise school. Support, weekly calls, monthly calls, monthly coaching sessions, quarterly workshops, annual convention. There's a ton of different support calls that happen each week, and really want to get you dialed in so you follow a system. The Get in Shape Room model is really like a recipe of making a great tasting cake. If you change the recipe, it's not going to taste as good. It may taste okay, but it's not going to taste great. So the support really is to help you stay focused on a time-tested, proven system that's been developed for, this company's been open 9 years, but I've been operating studios for 20 years, so it's gone way back, and really best practices over 20 years all built into one model. And then we're going to do a 1-year analysis on your studio after you've been open, and then we'll have a conversation if you're ready for a second one or not. And some people's growth plans are to build one great studio. Maybe they're working 50, 60 hours a week, year 1, getting off the ground. Year 2, they go to 40 hours a week. Year 3, they go to 20. And, year 5, they work 1 day a week. Who knows? And they just build a team. So we're clear on helping you grow with whatever that means. Whatever it means to you. Everyone's different. Some people want to own 5 studios. Some want to, run one high-performing model and then just spend time traveling, which is awesome. All right, let's see. Hours of operation. So the typical hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 6 to noon and 4 to 8. So we don't run training sessions middle of the day, but the managers are there. The managers will work usually 6 to 4, something like that, maybe 7 to 4, depending on the studio. And then other days they come in later and work 9 or 10 to 6 or 7. So the managers are there doing all their manager work midday when the clients aren't there. And we don't run sessions midday just because it's not convenient for the clients, and it doesn't make sense to staff it, pay the overhead when you're not going to fill it with sessions. Saturdays 8 to 12, and then once these hours are full, we hit some of our fuller studios have been open a little while. They'll open up on Sundays, and then they'll expand their hours and open up maybe at 3, or stay open a little bit later just to get more sessions in. As mentioned, those are the manager, trainer, part-time hours. Here's a typical price sheet. This is what we charge when we run the business: 3-month, 6-month, 12-month packages. And just to give you guys an idea when you're building out your pro formas, is that a session is 30 minutes of weight training, 25 minutes weight training, 25 minutes of cardio. So we're able to run 8 people per hour, so 4 sessions per half hour. Some people initially they think 4 per hour, and they run the model when the financial model doesn't come out like they think. This just gives you a sense that you can figure out what your average session is going to be, session price, and it's 8 sessions an hour is what capacity is. Startup costs, the range from $51,000 to $200,000. And the variables that make it such a big range are, 1, the build out. And if we can get a landlord to do the build out, that would be 0. If we can't get a landlord to do the build out for you, then it would be $50,000. That's a big variable. The additional funds necessary. So if someone gets off, let's say someone can't really sell and they don't really follow the sales system we have in place. If you look at 2 different stores side by side, one owner is dialed in, sales training systems in place. The other, so they get people to sign up for 3, 6, or 12 months paid in full, paid up front. And let's say person B, they're just not following the sales system. They didn't practice. They didn't do their homework. They didn't role play. They're getting payment plans on 3, 6, and 12-month packages. You see the difference. If I go back, if you're getting paid in full on 6-month packages, $1,300, $2,000, $2,600 paid in full, it doesn't take a lot of clients to sign up to break even. But if you're getting just payments on everything, it's going to really affect cash flow. So that's why we really have a sales system that we coach. It's, you know, someone says to us, oh, do I have to pay all up front? And we say, yes, when you pay, you come, and when you come, you get results. So we make it part of our program. It's commitment. Pay in full, get committed, and let's transform. Let's focus on losing this 20 or 30 pounds. And then equipment variable is whether you lease the equipment and just make that, you know, first and last payment, or you pay cash the equipment. So most people lease to keep costs down, but that's kind of the range. Sample studio expenses. This gives you an idea of what the typical running costs are, their operating costs. You know, rent, utilities, local advertising, and you know, healthy advertising budget. I can tell you it's a lot more than most businesses, but when you get it, it's all marketing and sales. Once you understand that every business is based on marketing and sales, and obviously whatever product or service you deliver, but you have to have marketing and sales in place for it to work. So local advertising, national fund is money we put towards a, you know, national production of material to be used at the local level. Travel and meetings, studio and office supplies, your full and part-time trainers, health insurance, credit card, bank fees, insurance, accounting, legal, IT, software, cleaning and miscellaneous, and then you plug in if you have any lease or loan payment, and then whatever your royalty is, which is 6% of sales. So that'll give you your hard running costs as you figure out how these models work. Different revenue streams. So we're selling clients as they come in, so new sales, upgrades. So an upgrade is if a client comes in and signs up for 6 months, let's say. They pay me the 6-month payment. We give them 30 days to upgrade to the year and only pay the prorated difference. So big part of our model is, you know, get you signed up. We'll recommend, so if someone has 20 pounds to lose, we're going to recommend on average a pound a week for that period of time, so they have to sign up for 20 weeks. So really the closest thing is 6 months. So anyone that's got 20 or more pounds to lose, they're signing up a minimum 6 months. And then ideally we upgrade them to the year. So it's a new sale. The following month you're going to try to upgrade all those new sales into larger packages. And then renewal is just the back end. So a renewal is once someone completes their 3, 6, or 12-month package, and then to get them to renew again. And that's and one expression we always have is, you know, you bought a franchise for year 3. You know, first year you're learning how to run the model. Year 2, you're kind of building a clientele base and it's maturing. And then year 3, the goal is you should have all revenue arms firing, new sales, upgrades, and renewals, because it takes, obviously you're not going to get renewals in your first 6 months because you're relying on all new sales and upgrades. Protein sales, so we sell protein powder, protein bars, just really to help our clients nutritionally. We're really soon coming out with a private label version. It's going to be called Blueprint Nutrition Products. It's going to help us increase our margins, and it's also a better quality protein powder and bar. We're using grass-fed whey protein. And also we're coming out with an athletic clothing line. We're going to put a mannequin in each of the studios and allow you to be able to sell athletic clothing to your clients as well. So a couple new revenue streams we're excited about. In terms of financial performance representations, this is in our FDD. We have to disclose this every year. This is, we have a new one that's coming out like next week, so it'll be on our next webinar. But I'll share this with you. So basically, it didn't change much, but this is based in this time period, there were 92 studios open. The average revenue was $25,000, and the average expenses were about $18,400. So if you're an owner operator running an average studio doing this revenue, you'd make $79,000 a year. Just gives you an idea, and this is looking at all studios across the board. Then we do is we take the top performers, just give you a perspective of how the superstars operate. They're averaging $38,000 a month. Their overhead before a manager's salary is about $20,500. So they're making, north of $200,000 a year, running top performing, in the top 10% of the franchise owner operators. So, and that's just one unit. So you can see you don't have to open multiple units to be financially successful. You just got to run, one high-performing model and just crush it and love it. Territory selection, you can go to zipwho.com. Dan will help you more on that. That helps us look at, you can put in the state, the median income. Go back to this slide and you can look at the fields we filled into the left. Helps you figure out where the best zip codes are in your area. And we do this exercise with you, of course, and we want to make sure that you're going to pick the best territory available. And the benefit of being first kind of in your state is you get to pick the best territories. Obviously, in A, you want to get the A territories are the ones that go first. Massachusetts, we have 55 locations open and basically sold out. I think there's a couple of spots left, but that's about it. Everywhere else, we're turning our focus now on developing outside of Massachusetts. Finding a location, you can use LoopNet, CoStar, and Craigslist, and that'll help you look for retail space. We're always looking for between 800 and 1,200 square feet, somewhere in that range. 900 to 1,200 works. Here's an example of a location we found on LoopNet. It's in Long Island. Great demos, 1,100 square feet within the footprint. And the smaller the footprint, the better, especially when you're in high rent districts. We have another software program to do demographic study. So once we actually find a good location, we'll run a 1, 2, and 3 mile circle around it and look at population density, wealth, etc. It'll give us a nice printout, and we'll go overview how it looks, and we compare it to our other successful studios to make sure that it's following the same framework. Sample floor plan. We're going to give you a layout. Make sure it's really accurate, so that way when you give it to your contractor, your studio will get built per spec. And then touching on support, so franchise owner support, franchise school, as I mentioned earlier, weekly owner call, weekly support calls, monthly coaching calls. We have face-to-face quarterly workshops where we all get together, all the owners and managers get together to really work on a particular area of the model. And we have our annual convention each year. This is the cover of the binder we used at our last workshop, and it's the 10X Future exercise, and vision, marketing, sales, new client experience, and culture is kind of the high-level structure of our entire model and the coaching behind it. And to dig a little deeper, so this first exercise we had our owners do, which was really exciting, and we put this together at a corporate offsite, our corporate team, and basically the goal, if you look at the bottom of the sheet, 1X is today's income, how much vacation time you have, time you're able to work on relationships and family, and then time that you're able to work on your health and purpose. Then as you move up to 2X, that's basically 2X would be 2 times your current income, 4, 6, 8, and obviously 10X your current income. So we took our owners through this exercise so that they could see how their life would change by multiplying their current income 10 times. And it's what I'm personally focused on at the corporate office. We're going to grow 10X. I'm going to making sure I'm going to grow my corporate team 10X, because it's impossible to grow 10X if you do it by yourself. So you really need to get your teams involved. This is a great tool to really expand everyone's mind and realize what's possible. The 12 modules, so we've broken down the operation of a studio into 12 different modules. Here's a quick glimpse at it. We can get into detail more later. Here's a quick shot of a quarterly meeting. As you can see, a lot of people, roundtable discussions, serious conversation. We're serious about transformation and running financially successful personal training studios. This is our award ceremony at the annual convention. This woman was our top franchise of the year. We give out trophies monthly, first place, and we show a top 10 board. Same with quarterly, and then annually, we recognize obviously the #1 owner, and then the top 10 franchise owners for the year get a trophy. It's awesome. Shot of our top 10 owners 2013. We're always improving technology to try to make our lives better, more efficient. We've we went to a company called MindBody to develop a fairly custom application for us. Because of how we have multiple locations, we were able to put some resources together and just have a lot of custom reporting done. We have a mobile app, so now our clients can schedule sessions using their their mobile phone, and front desk check-in, so you can see what kind of activity is going on. So really good, robust reporting capability. All right, so initial phone call, you're going to talk to Dan Henry. He's Director of Franchise Development, extension 11. You can shoot him an email if you want as well, danhenry@getinshipperman.com. If the phone call goes well, either you'll go right to Discovery Day or set up a call with me, and really Discovery Day is a great opportunity to meet the team and figure out if this is really going to be a good fit. And once you spend the whole day with us, pay no attention to the date down below. We'll send out our next Discovery Day date. This is an old version. But basically, we're going to spend a day with you, get to meet the corporate team, really dig into details about the model, how it works, and then if hopefully it's a good fit. Some different accolades. Entrepreneur Magazine, we're ranked number 279 of the top 500 franchises in the world. We're working hard to keep moving up that list, and hopefully someday number 1. These are some different books that have had a significant impact on me, and I highly recommend them. And in many cases, I've read these books multiple times, because when you read a book multiple times at different stages of the business life cycle, you get different stuff out of it. And we recently read a book from a guy, I think it's called The Ultimate Sales Machine, and this guy talked about how he read Think and Grow Rich 6 times. And I'd say that's probably the most important book, because you need to control the first asset that you need to acquire is your thinking. And the minute you can control your thinking and focus on positive things and being incredibly successful, then it's achievable. If you can't get the thoughts squared away, it's not going to be achievable. So that's one book. All these others are fantastic. We're running short on time, so I won't go into too much detail, but definitely read these books. Okay, webinar focus. So we've completed number 3, how to open your own franchise and kind of what the next steps are. Let me dig into a little bit of Q&A for a few minutes and see what's going on here. So I have some that emailed in. I'm going to read those, and I'll go to the ones up online. How do you ensure consistent quality is being delivered across all sites? Great question, and I can answer that with what we call compliance. And over the years, there's been different phases of a compliance. I can tell you, knowing when you get to that 90, 100 unit mark, the bigger you get, the more important compliance is. We've recently hired a new director of compliance, so her sole purpose is to hold everyone accountable to following the recipe, to making sure that we deliver a consistent wow experience across all franchise locations. And like any franchise, there's going to be some bottom performers that aren't delivering the brand, and we don't want that to hurt a neighboring studio. So we're definitely have been and will continue to hold owners and managers accountable, really owners accountable to the system in place, make sure delivering a great quality workout. And really is just going to protect you from yourself in many ways, making sure you don't start running a mom and pop type business. Let's see, next question. In your experience, what combination of owner, manager, trainers works best? For example, is an owner manager best? Is an owner manager and 2 full-time trainers best? It all depends. If you have a passion for fitness and you can sell and you don't have a problem asking for the sale, objection handling, then owner manager, our top performers have typically been owner managers in many cases, because it's your baby, and it keeps your costs down. So we always recommend, if you can be an owner manager initially, do it. Learn the model, learn the rhythms of the model, and then once you get through that little phase, put a manager in place, and you kind of come over the top. And when you come over the top of a manager and a couple of trainers, you're able to kind of plug the holes and get the stuff that gets missed first time around. In a studio where there is an owner and a manager, describe each of their roles. So manager really, like we own 4 corporate locations. Our managers do everything. They run the entire locations. We, we're pretty busy, so we'll occasionally visit our sites maybe quarterly, but other than that, the managers run everything. So what we'd recommend you to do is you would be engaged, even if you had a manager in place, you would still kind of co-manage. You learn all phases, so you guys could overlap some of your schedule, then other times you could work, spread out your hours so you have pretty awesome coverage. And really, owners and managers, a lot of customer service, a lot of front end work, making sure you're getting back to leads. A lot of it's lead follow-up, booking free sessions, making sure free sessions happen, making sure sales happen. And once they become a customer, your trainers really take over. And then what what managers and owners do is you just want to make sure that you're dialed into operations, following all the systems we have in place for weight training, cardio, nutrition, accountability, weigh-ins, making sure your clients are transforming. What's the bonus structure for managers and trainers? So typically we bonus managers and trainers, or we recommend everyone bonus managers and trainers, and what we do in our corporate stores is at different revenue marks. So at 25, 30, 35, 40,000 a month, there's different bonus incentives for managers and trainers. What are the key factors that propel studios to be top performers? Without question, it's having wow in your sales process, a lot of energy in your studio. You're running a transformation model, which is very unlike any other neighboring fitness studio that you'll be around. And we don't accept everyone. It's just that wow, upfront, paid in full, 6-month or 12-month sale, 6-month or 1-year sale, paid in full, and then repeat, and really transforming women. So sales is a big deal. You have to have passion for fitness and the ability to ask for a sale and hold clients accountable. Those are the studios that perform at the top. What are the 3 factors that cause some studios to underperform? Opposite of that. So an underperforming studio would be, usually what we find out is when we secret shop is we'll put leads into a studio and they don't get called back. If they do get called back, they aren't following the phone call script. They're not following all the systems that are in place. We've never once seen a struggling studio follow the system, not one time. So really what it comes down to is some people just have a hard time following direction, others don't. And the ones that can follow a time-tested proven system and that we consider good students, so you really want to be a great student first. Once you've mastered the basic skills, it's fine to massage the system a little bit. Like some of our top performers will massage the scripts a bit to enhance their ability, but it didn't start that way in the beginning. They first have to master what's in place before they can tweak it. All right, got a few more minutes and I'll wrap up. Let me look at the screen here. Let's see. How do you find out about local opportunities from the studio managers? So you heard that on the webinar. What is the cost? We covered that. Have you any process in place to supervise the existing studio and be sure they do the right things, mainly to avoid wrong customer experience that can affect the franchise marketing? Yeah, definitely. As mentioned, we hired a director of compliance. We, it's amazing, the detail. So we're bringing everyone through it, and really it helps you as being a franchise owner to know that we're committed to making sure you're running this beautiful boutique upscale orchestration of women working out in a wonderful environment. Everyone's saying hi and bye by first name, high fives, great job, a lot of transformation. So we do have that in place. Can you go back to the slide before territory selection that lays out numbers and walk through it again? Dan can do that on your one-on-one call. Sorry about that. I'm going to refine the presentation a little bit more. It's still too much information in there, so I can have less material and more depth. So I'll do that next month too if you guys want to jump on again next month. But Dan be happy to walk through you one-on-one. And after you talk to Dan, if it's still a good fit, I'll be happy to talk to you one-on-one as well and walk through this material much slower. And that could be, you know, even the next couple of days, depending on how interested you are. Is it possible to be a long-distance owner? I don't think so, unless you're able to find a partner that was pretty compelling at the local level, because really the key to these models is skin in the game, passion for fitness, treating customers like family. And the only times we've seen, you know, bad performing stores is when the system just isn't being followed and there's a manager that really doesn't care. And we wouldn't want you to get set up for failure, but if you can find someone that would be a good partner, that would make sense. And I've had many partnerships that work great like that. Next discovery day is June 12th for those interested. How can we schedule a call with you guys? Who will be the person on the call? So that's going to be, I'm going to go back just to this slide right here. So here's Dan Henry, 781-444-1913, extension 11. Email him, danhenry@getinshapeimprovement.com. He'll do the first call, and then he'll get through a lot of the initial stuff, and then I'll do call 2, and really looking forward to getting you on board. And one slide in here I'm going to have to find again, because I always want to talk about it. It's titled Meaningful Work. And I've been doing this since I was 20 years old, and I'm now 44. So I've been in this business for a long time. I've had the luxury of meaningful work for a very long time. And for those of you who aren't doing meaningful work, I'll tell you to do meaningful work, it's incredible. It's rewarding. It's obviously we work very hard, but it's incredibly rewarding. All right, let me wrap up. Stay on time. All right, so we wrap up with final thoughts and basically just how we summarize the meeting or event that we just had. So for me, let's see, my final thoughts is I'm going to take some material out of this and go a little bit deeper in less material. But I'm excited about growth. As mentioned, we're sold out in Massachusetts. We are in the process of really focusing on growth across the U.S., and we're confident in reaching our corporate 10x goal, going to 500 locations from just under 100. And we wish anyone on the call that likes our purpose to join us. And hopefully I get to talk to you soon. Have a great day.